What's up, beautiful people, and welcome back to my channel. 2019 Best and Worst Movies. That's what we're talking about today. Now, the Oscars were yesterday, and I did watch them, and they were predictable AF. However, my decision to throw some movies in the worst movies of the year category, or place some of them in the best movies of 2019 category, has very little to do with the Oscars. Now, the movies that I'm going to be talking about are movies that I went to go see at the movie theaters, and as I was typing them into my notes app yesterday, I was thinking, damn, I went to the movies a lot and spent a lot of money. But hey, that's what the AMC Stubs reward situation is for. Now I will start off by reading off the movies that I went to go see at the movie theaters, and then we shall get into the worst ones and then the best ones and why I placed them into those categories. By the way, for accuracy purposes, some of these movies were released late in 2018. However, I went to go see them at the start of 2019. So without further ado, let's get into the movies that I went to go see. Escape Room, What Men Want, Us, Pet Sematary, It Chapter 2, Dr. Sleep, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, Harriet, Ad Astra, Lion King, Black Christmas, Bombshell, Joker, Little, The Intruder, The Curse of La Llorona, Annabelle Comes Home, Ready or Not, Brightburn, Ma, Isn't It Romantic, Late Night, Hustlers, Gemini Man, Secret Life of Pets 2, 21 Bridges, Alita, Rocket Man, Dark Phoenix, Downtown Abbey, Captain Marvel, The Favorite, Wreck-It Ralph 2, Countdown. Now, let's start with our worst movies of 2019. Up first, Black Christmas. First of all, shout out to the trailer hype team for getting me to want to go see that movie. That trailer ended up being more exciting and interesting than the movie itself. Now, there were several things that they got wrong with this movie, but three things really stood out to me. Number one was lazy writing, and I noticed that because I consider myself a writer. Now, I understand that the characters were sorority sisters in college, and their interactions with each other weren't necessarily going to be formal. Number two, they revealed the villain way too early in the movie, and the villain, by the way, was a professor. And even in the trailer, they revealed who the villain was, which, what's the point of now watching the movie if you already know what's going on? The whole purpose, for me anyways, of a trailer is to get you hooked enough to go see the movie. But if the whole plot is explained in the trailer, why do I go see the movie to begin with? Everything has been explained to me already, you know? And the third thing that was badly done in this movie was they tried to make it like a girl power sort of movie, but it was just really tacky and just poorly done. And that's why Black Christmas made it to number one on my worst movies of 2019's list. Number two on the worst movies of 2019's list, Annabelle Comes Home. I like a good scary movie. However, this one relied again heavily on the generic setting of a beautiful yet creepy mansion in which weird things start to happen because of this doll. It's overdone at this point. Brightburn lands on number 3 of worst movies of 2019. The writing was lazy, it's just that simple for me. Number 4, Captain Marvel. I just don't have a lot of things to say about this movie other than that it was way over the top for me, way overdone. And I know there are some people out there who would appreciate that and they would strongly disagree with me, and that's okay. But like my mom would say, I didn't understand the head or the tail of this movie, meaning it was just all over the place. I didn't think there was structure to it. Moving on to number 5 on the worst movies of 2019's list, Gemini Man. Now, Will Smith is a veteran actor and he's amazing. And I think he did the best he could with the material he was given for this movie. However, I feel like this movie is another one of those movies that tries to be deep, but there isn't a whole lot of substance to it. And then the CGI towards the end of the movie was very obvious and hell of distracting. Number 6 on the worst movies of 2019's list, and I know people will strongly disagree with me on this one, and that's okay, The Joker. And this is no disrespect to Joaquin Phoenix. I don't think I've seen any of his other work, so I really don't have much to compare it to, but I didn't connect with that character. I was having a hard time connecting with The Joker. I know a lot of people raved about it, but it just went over my head. it. Now, the acting was good. I'll give him that. Now, I have a separate movie review about the Joker, so I strongly suggest that you check it out after this. I will link it down below in the description box. Maybe it's also because I'm not really into movies based on comic books. I prefer stories and movies based on true stories about real people. Harriet takes the 7th place of the worst movies of 2019. Now, I actually have a separate movie review on this as well, if you'd like to check that out. I will link it down below for you. Now, the story of Harriet Tubman is a compelling story. And I have mentioned in one of my other movie reviews that a compelling story could fall flat on the screen if it's mishandled. So if it has mediocre or subpar scripting or subpar acting or subpar directing. Now, the acting was great. Cynthia Erivo, I love Cynthia Erivo, which, by the way, her performance at the Oscars yesterday, the best thing about the Oscars, really. So I like Cynthia Erivo and I like Janelle Monáe, and I think they did the best they could with the material they were given. However, the movie itself, too many wide angle shots. I feel like they should have done a lot of close-ups to get that emotion on the screen, and I just wasn't feeling it to my core. Now that the trash has been taken out, let's finally move on to the best movies of 2019. Up first, Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. Now, I had to watch this movie twice to understand the brilliance of it. The first time I saw the movie, I didn't really know much about Charles Manson other than that he was a serial killer. So I came away from watching the movie the first time thinking, oh, it was an okay movie. The acting was brilliant. But then I went and did some research about Charles Manson and his cult and the connection with Sharon Tate. I went to go see the movie the second time and came out of that movie blown away. So yes, great job, Quentin Tarantino. Bombshell is number 2 on my best movies of 2019's list. The writing was stellar. The makeup was on point. When I first saw the trailer, I first thought, is Megan Kelly playing herself? And it's later on that I realized that it was Charlize Theron and the brilliance of makeup. Now, aside from the acting, which was just incredible acting, there was also the storyline, which is just very relevant and very current to what's going on today. Number 3 is Late Night. Late Night is the movie starring Emma Thompson and Mindy Kaling, who was also in Ocean's 8. Now, the script was stellar, the acting was phenomenal, and the storyline was current. Number 4, Ready or Not. Now, that movie had me on the edge of my seat. One of the best horror movies I have seen in a while, in my opinion. Number 5, Ad Astra. Now, I have a separate movie review on Ad Astra as well, so if you want to check that out, it's going to be linked down below. But the movie was very slow, and what I mean by that is like there wasn't a whole lot of action. However, it was well written and it was very emotionally dense. Us made it to the 6th and final best movie of 2019 for me. Now, I was very confused at the end of the movie, but after thinking about it on my drive home, I realized how brilliant Jordan Peele is, and it was hella scary. Now onto my miscellaneous pile of movies I saw in 2019. Now I call them miscellaneous because the movies were not bad, but they weren't particularly good. And some of them I would categorize them as feel-good movies. So some of those movies were What Men Want with Taraji P. Henson, and also Isn't That Romantic, which by the way all came out in February around Valentine's Day. Those were movies I just go to see to feel good, to laugh. I mean, I don't have to worry about any complicated plot twist, or I don't have to think too much. Now, Secret Life of Pets 2 would also fall in that category, although I have to say that I did prefer the first one better. Now, Alita was visually stunning, but to me, there wasn't much else to the movie. Lion King, I did appreciate too. I haven't seen the first one, so I have nothing to compare it to. A lot of people were saying the first one is better. Dr. Sleep, I really enjoyed it. It was a very long movie, and so was It Chapter 2. Dark Phoenix was a very good way to start the summer. Now, Rocketman, I was moved by it, but not enough to put it in my best movies category. The Favorite, which was a period drama about royals, the acting was really good, and I'm sure a lot of theater people appreciated it, but to me, it was too long. Octavia Spencer was really great in Ma. That was a very different role for her. I'm used to seeing her in nurturing motherly roles, and there was still a little bit of that in Ma, but it was very dark. Hustlers was okay. I mean, J-Lo is a great actress and she looks amazing. I wish to look like that at 50 years old. I've always thought she was a better actress and dancer, performer, than she is a singer. So it was okay. I wasn't too crazy about the other people they cast in the movie. And with that, this video has come to an end. I really hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, go ahead and like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you next Tuesday. Bye now.